I decided I'd start doing a little recap or back brief on any panels I sit on if I think the information's important enough or popular enough that people might want to hear it again without having to go through 2 hours of chatting or hear it for the first time. So this is going to be your back brief on Resist the Tyranny, episode 48, specifically related to about the last 15 minutes where we discussed Ukraine and the future of the Eurozone, Russia, and things like that. If you're interested in more details based on the economic standpoint, world affairs, areas I won't quite get into deep into, you want to look at David over on An American Warning. If he hasn't done so already, plans on doing such a show. I'm going to be talking mainly on the military and strategic standpoint of why things are going the way they are, involving some world affairs. To really understand Ukraine, first thing you want to look at is that specific region around Ukraine and Crimea between Europe and Russia and the long-standing history there, and the distance that provides tactically and strategically to space Russia out from the Eurozone. That's why they went in there. That's very easy to find out. But for looking at the future, what you want to check out is Germany. Germany is probably the strongest or second strongest economy in the European Union. They have a long-standing relationship with Russia that's been both good and bad, but it's been good for a long time. The relationship is so strong, a lot of Germans even speak Russian. Germany trades a lot of technology to them. Russia considers them their number one trading partner in Europe, and Russia provides them with a lot of natural gas. There's other things as well that they trade, but those are important things to look at. I think it's Russia's largest industrial company. Can't think of the name of it, but they have ties to the German banking system, at least one of the banks, mainly due to loans, financial things like that, not like nefarious controlling it type deal. Also, Germany joined Russia and France in opposing the invitation to NATO that was sent to the Ukraine and Georgia. So they have a lot of similar things in mind politically, strategically, that some individuals just don't realize. So it's been building for a long time. There's nothing really new here. Now, if you pull up a map of Poland, if you just type Poland in and then zoom out quite a bit until you can see the surrounding areas, you'll realize it falls in between Germany and Russia and parts of Ukraine. So this is why Poland was such a huge deal in World War II with Russia and Germany. It's very strategic, its location on the Baltic Sea. A lot of ports there and a lot of history in the Baltic area. You look up above there and you start looking at the Scandinavia area, find the location of Finland, and then just keep in mind, which you can also research this easily, one of the false flags Russia did was to launch artillery in one of its own town to justify an attack against Finland where there was a small little war. The efforts of that also play into it. So if Russia was to move in, or even better, cut a deal with Germany to where Germany leaves the European Union, which has always been a threat to the Eurozone, Poland will be asked out and they'll try to take that country. Now, directly east of Poland is Belarus. The points of Belarus that really matter is there's not a whole lot difference between Belarus and Russia, especially old school Russia. They kept the monetary system, just call it the Belarus ruble. They have a very similar type of command structure, and I don't think they'd have any issue jumping right in with Putin. And if Germany cut a deal, they might roll into Poland. One of the things you're going to start seeing is Poland requesting assistance from NATO, specifically the U.S., which I believe they already have in some minor aspects, but that should probably increase over the next few years, if not few months, as we see them trying to repel the invaders per se. So now the future, what you want to look at, basically Germany. You want to see Germany's political position. Go learn how it is with Russia, that it's long-standing, it's nothing new. Look at their position in the Eurozone and their economy and the effects that's having on that part of the world. And you'll start to see the emerging threat of them possibly leaving. Look at their involvement in NATO and the UN and where they have seats and votes in those areas. And then all of a sudden, this should all start to make sense. This is why it's such a big deal. The idea of taking Crimea and Ukraine was really expected. We've expected that for a long time. The reemergence of Russia has been planned for probably 15 to 20 years. Even if you've never heard about it, that's just a reality in the political world. Going in and taking areas like Crimea and Ukraine has been an on-again, off-again thing for Russia, Soviet Union, and whatever the areas were called back in the day, just due to the location with a mountain range there separating friend from foe. They basically increased their border areas to a safe distance. So that's something to look at.